Hey everybody, it's me, V the Sepia Scholar, and I'm here for a Friday night chat. Hopefully this finds you blessed, happy, and full of joy because TGIF, it's Friday. I've had a super busy work week, been super tired, and I got a comment already. Sorry. I've been super tired. Hi Troy. I've been super tired, but I decided to jump on here with my beautiful ladies to have a Friday chat. It's gonna be no holds bar, not saying we're gonna get raunchy, but feel free to express yourself how you feel. How you feel is good. I'm gonna go ahead and have. Ooh, okay. We'll have her, the young lady, join us back. So in the meantime, let me go ahead and have you guys introduce yourself. Pam, I'll have you go first.
Good evening. I am Pam, and I am also known as the Teen Transformer. I work with families with young, gifted, and Black teens to prepare and have them explore and prepare for competitive college and career. And I'm located in the DMV.
All right, welcome. Is where can we find you if we wanted to go look for you?
You can find me at the Teen Transformer
All
on
right,
IG
perfect.
and TikTok.
All right, perfect. Well, I can't wait to go watch your videos. I'm excited. All right, we'll have Blue. Miss Blue, you go next.
Okay, my name is Tamika Blue. Everybody calls me Blue because I'm typically in blue hair. I have been working in retirement planning for 18 and a half, almost 19 years now. And I'm a true Floridian, not born here, but I was raised here. So I am a Floridian by heart and by nature. And that's me.
All right, where can they find you if they want to go looking for you? I know where
Oh,
to
they
find
can
you.
find they can find me on Facebook, and they can also find me on Instagram and TikTok under the name Blue Tamika, Bleu.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Billionaire Fatty. Tell me about yourself and where we could find you.
Yes, hi. Well, where you can find me is on Facebook, Manny Woods. But I go by Billionaire Fatty. That's been my name growing up. I'm a spoiled brat, so I get whatever I want. Um, Starting December the 1st, I will have my own disinfecting company doing commercial buildings only. And on the side hobbies, I'm like a sex coach, life
Okay.
coach, and a wellness coach.
Wow,
All
okay.
right, so you got everything covered. Thank you
Yes.
so
We
much.
might sidebar,
You
girl.
know, right?
Oh, yes.
We might need to ask her some questions, right?
Hmm.
So what we're here for today, ladies, like I said, I kind of go with the flow with these chats, but we have beautiful professional ladies here. If any men join, that's fine. Shout out to the replay gang. But we wanted to talk a little bit about divorce and dating. So before right? Interesting, right? So before we get started with that, I kind of wanted to put it out there. So I went and did a little bit of research, and apparently the projected divorce rate in 2022 is going to be 44.2%.
That's deep.
So the way they kind of did this statistic was out of 6 like you can have half a marriage, out of 6.61 marriages, 2.2 will end in divorce. So you have a 44.2% chance of getting divorced. And with that being said, we're here about not problems but solutions. I wanted to talk and get insight on what you guys feel like the dating game has been out here. So let's get into that. Let's get into the dating game. I found a really cool GIF that kind of describes what dating is. Dating is just acting like you're somebody you're not until the person likes you enough so you can show them who you really are. And I thought that was pretty accurate. So, what have you guys been experiencing out in the dating game? I'll go with Blue first because I know she's gonna just.
Because I'm about to explode over here.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, I that is a cute way that meme put it, but
Mhm.
I disagree with it because I go into everything wholeheartedly as me. I
Mm.
don't show anybody anything else. What you see is what you get. You're gonna get the raw and uncut Blue. You're gonna get Blue, you're gonna get Tamika, you're gonna get Mika, you're gonna get Michelle, you're gonna get all of us.
Oh
It's like
wow,
it's
a
it's
bunch of
like
y'all,
six
huh?
people in here. You know what I'm saying? But different levels of you, you get different levels of me.
Mhm.
But what I'm finding is a lot of men portray themselves to be what they are not. And then it's just like when it gets down to the nitty gritty, it's just like, oh, but I thought you was, but you ain't. Oh, I thought you
Mhm.
was, but you really ain't. But I thought you did this, but you really ain't. Us being all professional women, I think you all would probably agree with me. I'm not dating a man to find a man to take care of me because I can take care of myself. I'm dating a
Hmm.
man to try to find me a companion, but they are making it hard to even believe. It's like right out the door, they're lying.
Girl,
When
look.
I say lies, the last guy that I was just dating, it was just lie after lie after lie. And I'm just like, Lord, I'm using my power of discernment, but this man can't keep it real for nothing.
Mm.
And he got real mad because I told him he had a lying spirit.
Not the lying spirit.
I did. He got real mad because I told him he had a lying spirit and he went in on me.
Oh wow.
Baby, if I could show y'all those text messages and let y'all listen to those voicemails, baby, he went in on me real good.
Wow. Wow.
But
All
that's
right.
just a brief summary of what I'm getting.
Yeah, we're gonna dig in deeper, believe me. Miss
Mm.
Pam, how's it been for you?
It's been rough out here for me.
Mhm.
I am 61 years old.
You're so beautiful, I swear.
Thank you. And I've been divorced
Mhm.
since 2008.
Wow.
And so it's just, in my age group or even a little younger, it's hard because things have changed out here from I feel like I'm still in my 20s or 30s in my mind,
Mhm.
but it has changed drastically since then. And so um, for me it's been a struggle with all of this texting versus having phone conversation. Um, it's been hard with the dating apps because
Mhm. Oh, we're gonna get on that. You
like,
hold that thought.
like my sister Blue said, there's so much, lying. It's like,
Mhm.
they fabricate a persona,
Mhm.
personality, all kinds of things.
Mhm.
And that's not everybody, but there are so many. It's so much easier to do that, right, on these dating apps. And then um, I don't know, I'm not so much old school as just no pretense. I'm like, I want it to be, you
Real.
know, I, I'm
Mhm.
too old at this point to just be spending time with people, right? So
I'm about
we
to start shouting over here.
we need to come we need to
You
come
doing
with
church.
something, and you need to have your life together because I'm trying to
Exactly.
spend my life with somebody. I'm looking
Mhm.
for, like you said, a companion, someone to spend my life with as opposed to just spending my time because time at this point in my life is extremely precious.
Yes, I'm with you, Miss Billionaire Fatty.
Ah, I don't even know where to start. It's a mess. It's when I go on a date with someone, I let them know I have so many sides to me. And I let them know, the real thing, what I'm looking for. I'm straight blunt, I'm straightforward. We can hee hee ha ha later, but I want to know your boundaries. I want to know your long-term goals. And I just feel like when you let a man get to know you, especially when you have businesses or career goals, I feel like they take that and use you. It's so
Yeah, it
many
goes against you. I
lazy
agree.
bum men's out here, and they feel like they got a lick. Oh, this woman
Mm.
does this, that, and other. They got a lick, and I feel like the music is destroying relationships. A lot of followers, a lot of booty shaking and BBL women's, and
Oh my.
everybody just want that kind of life right now. So I feel
Mm.
like it's less respect in women, and men's are just going for it. They feel like, hey, she's easy, I'm gonna go for it. And if this woman keeps accepting me back and I keep telling her I love her, I'm gonna keep um you know telling her what I want her to hear to shut her up, but I'm gonna still go out here and do my dirt. And you can
Yes.
be 50 years old, 60 years old. I dated a lot of men's that was in their 60s and 50s because I felt like they should be mature enough and past that stage, and it's not. So it's a mess.
I totally agree. That has been my experience. Majority of the people don't tell the truth. Like
Mhm.
it's all a lie and the truth ain't in them.
Yes, it's a mess.
So it's been super crazy that out here you people are pretending to be certain things. And I had a similar situation with the money, but nobody tried to use me for any money. It's kind of like because I do what I do and I'm at a level that I'm at, I've straight up had men say they didn't feel like they were on my level. That has happened. So they had whatever self-esteem issue going on, whatever they had going on in the background. They didn't feel like they were on my level. And one of my like really, really, really like, and I didn't even get a chance to do anything before that happened. I was like, oh. And he really listened to the RIP to Kevin Samuels, and he was like, well, you're a lady with more money. And so you're probably going to end up treating me bad because you don't see me on your level. And he kind of killed it before it even went anywhere. So, okay. So that has been my experience or whatever. So, Blue, I'm about to talk about my favorite subject. These are going to be the other two ladies' first time hearing this subject. But what do you guys think about rotational dating? Do you know what it is? Have you heard of it? And do you agree with it? If you don't know what it is, it's pretty much dating more than one person at the same time, allowing all of them to pursue you and let people fall off until you end up with the one. A lot of men do it. Women seem to be more leery of it, but it's becoming more popular. Basically, what it boils down to is there's a lady I listen to. Her name is Universe Guru, and she is a Pakistani Indian descent. And she says the way that we're doing dating is all wrong. Most of the time we end up finding one person, deciding that's the person before we know them well enough, and then just jumping all in and eliminating all other options before we know. Hi, Rory. Thank you for joining. Eliminating all options before we know that it's the actual person. Then we get there and we've already gone beyond the point. But men hate to hear women are doing it, but it's becoming more of an option for women. What do you guys think about that? I'll have Pam go first.
Okay.
All right. I didn't know that that's what that's called.
Yes.
But that's what I used to do in my 20s and early 30s before I got married in my late 30s. And I guess since I've been back out here recently, I'm that's what I'm potentially doing, it's just hard to keep people in rotation. It's hard to find, ones that you want to deal with past like maybe the first or second, date and or conversation. So I think it's hard to keep some guys in rotation to get them to the place where you can know them well enough to say, okay, maybe I want to be exclusive with this guy or I want to pursue this relationship.
My buddy Rory said everybody is not going to make it to the final four. So.
Right. So but I'm all for it.
Yes.
That's the way we should be looking at it, because as you were saying, you can't invest a lot of time and energy into one person to find out that they're not the one.
I'm glad you're open to it. We'll have you go next.
I actually made that mistake when I became freshly single after being with the same man for 22 years and going through everything. And I made that mistake, and I was like focused on one because that's what I'm used to, and unfortunately my marriage met its demise due to him doing what he did. Okay. But I put my focus on one person, and I did it for about a year and a half. Like, I'm a person that will give someone the benefit of the doubt. Like, sometimes I feel like if the potential is there, I'll give you 1,000 chances. You know what I'm saying? And I found that was my biggest mistake. And now I'm doing the whole, as you call it, rotational dating thing. And they just be falling off. And I can't keep nobody in rotation because they lie as soon as you meet them. Like she said, after the first date, it's just like, I don't think I want to talk to him no more.
What do you think is making them fall off?
Because they lie.
Okay.
They lie, and it's fine. It's like, because when I meet someone, I don't have expectations of
Mhm.
them. My thing is nice to meet you. I'm dating. I'm actively dating. I'm not locked in with anyone. Okay. But dating does not mean I'm sleeping with you or anybody
Mhm.
else. That's
Mhm.
one mistake that a lot of men assume. They assume that if you're dating, you're sleeping with everyone. But no, that is not a lie. I mean, that is a lie. I am not sleeping with everyone. Hell, I ain't sleeping with nobody, unfortunately. But
This man's dry over there.
it's a drought, girl. It's a drought because they lie so much. It's just like, do I want to violate myself with you and all your lies? Like, be honest. Like, we're dating, we're getting to know each other. I'm trying to know who you are, and you trying to know who I am, so we can see if we can potentially be a match. See if we want to take this dating from us dating these people over here and these people over here and dating each other monogamously. But I thought it went there with that one person, and he showed me that it did not. He told me it did, and it was supposed to be like that. But I found out the hard way that it was not like that. And it's like once I severed ties with him and parted ways, it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, boy, because that's what you was acting like. You was acting like a whole boy. You weren't acting like a man. Like I was there. I was giving you all my energy.
Mhm.
And like you said, the rotational dating thing is a little bit better for me, but it's just like it's just difficult trying to keep somebody on the roster, as they say these days. Because you have social media. I think social media plays a huge role in the ability to not only meet people that you normally would not meet, but also the ability for anybody to cheat.
Yes. Too many options.
It's too
Before
many
we yeah,
options.
before we get into that, let me go ahead and have billionaire fatty.
Hmm.
Anyways, you see, Rory said that you give too many chances are deadly.
And I agree, they are.
Yeah. But we'll have billionaire fatty go ahead and
Yes, I've tried it.
mm,
I don't like it because this person wants to go on a date here, then this person, then I gotta decide what dates to go on. And then if I'm talking to this person, I might accidentally text this person and be like, oh, this text isn't meant for this person. And it's just too much. I can't multitask like that. I tell people I cannot multitask. So I feel like if I can't talk to one, I don't want to talk to any because I crisscross text messages. I forget to meet this person here and thinking I'm meeting someone else. And it just does not work out for me. I'm a
that
one
memory is bad, huh,
woman's
billionaire?
woman.
Memory is
I
bad.
can't because I will forget. I will call you a different name. It just doesn't work out for
Oh
me.
my god.
Girl, you got to use your technology to its
You
fullest
did.
potential.
But can I interject in here because I forgot to say
Yes,
this.
go ahead. Go
It's
ahead.
something that I realized recently in a conversation with a girlfriend. Think about it. Just generally speaking, women are multitaskers and
Mm-hmm.
men are not, right? In our everyday, it's like, we can be cooking and on the phone but they can only, stay focused on one thing at a time. But when it comes to relationships with an absolute opposite, it's
You will
their
take you
nature to
down.
multitask
Yeah.
women. And from women, it's our nature to be
Mhm.
focused on one at a time. And
Mhm.
when I realized that, I was like, that is so weird.
Well, I think I don't know if it's necessarily weird. I think it's a biological thing because remember, we're kind of biologically set up to nest and nurture and build.
Mhm.
Find a person with the resources,
Right.
and
But I
women don't
mean,
want to hear it.
to Billionaire Fatty's point about it's hard for us to keep track who, what, when, where, how, when we can do multiple things in every other aspect of our lives.
Yes.
Right. And they can't keep two things juggling when it comes to other aspects, but they can juggle.
They can juggle women all day.
Yeah, they juggle all day. So that was like, that's just so interesting to me.
Yes, it's totally true. Totally true. So, well, let's go ahead and this is a great conversation. Thank you so much, ladies. So now that we've talked about the different types of dating, and we kind of said rotational dating didn't work for me. I didn't speak about on myself. For me, it totally worked, but you kind of ended up with too many people. I had an opposite problem, so it was
Gotta
opposite.
keep a notebook to keep it straight, V.
Yeah, I'm with you, billionaire. I'm like, I can't do this. Gotta go because you're working on your businesses, you're doing different things. You ain't got time for all that. You're like, oh my goodness, I don't even have time for this. So let's go ahead and talk about. So we kind of alluded to it, but let's talk about the dating pool. Is there pee in it? Because I don't heard some things. So let me get this comment out the way. Sorry. Oh my God. You just have to wade through a lot of the idiots until you find the right one. But we're not saying you're idiots. It's just a joke. But either way, what have you been finding in the dating pool? Like, what is there? We've determined that there's a lot of people pretending and lying. But let's see what type of status, what type of age range, what have you been finding in the dating pool?
I can
I'm going to have Billionaire go first.
Who go first?
Billionaire Fatty.
Oh, okay. Like, what do you mean? What have I been finding in the dating pool?
Have you been finding quality men in the dating pool?
I've been finding poor quality
Mm-hmm.
in the dating pool. I feel like the biggest turnoff to me, whether I'm on dating sites or meeting someone on Facebook or in person, one of the biggest turnoffs to me is they just want sex first. They automatically come out to you with sex. And I feel like if you're doing it to me, you're doing it to 1,000 other girls. All this disease is going around. It's ridiculous. Like, get to know me first. Don't just flat out, oh, I want to do this to you or do that. Like, it's disgusting because, you know, you don't know if I have AIDS. I don't know if you have AIDS. You're just jumping straight into the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's not what I look for in dating someone. Bring back the date in the parks, walk on the beaches or
I love to go to the
picnics
park.
or, have an in-house dating, decorate with some little candles, cook dinner, something like that. Bring something romantic to the table. Then we can get to that later. That comes naturally. So it's been a disaster when it comes to dating, whether it's younger men's or older men's. And I feel like older men's are worse than the younger men's.
Really? That was not my
Because that's
experience.
they go straight for it. And it's
Mm.
disgusting.
Mm. Okay, I'm gonna have Miss Pam chime in real quick.
I'm going to say, for me, the dating pool is like the 50s, 60s, and now I'm moving into the 70s. And I have a cousin, an older cousin, that says to me, at this age group, they're either looking for a nurse or a purse. And so I when she first told me that, I was like, I had to sit back and think about it. And I was like, that's kind of somewhat true. Although I have been, and maybe billionaire, they're really first going for the sex, because if it's still working, they trying to make sure that it is time is of the essence, because it might not be working tomorrow. So that I think that's at play. But generally, I still try to stay optimistic and not become pessimistic, because you just I think back to that meme. You just got to work through all of the mess to get to the gems. And I think there still are some gems out here, but they're not in the obvious places. So I don't know. I think there's still some good quality guys out here, but they're few and far between. We got to find them.
Before I let you go, Lou, let me tell you, there was a gentleman that literally told me, he said he's gonna be a bachelor until he gets old enough, and he doesn't look his age, but he's gonna kind of trick the ladies into. He says he doesn't tell them how old he is until he's already gotten some. But either way, he's waiting to tell the folks he wants a nurse. He said because even in the older age, he can get the blue pill, so he ain't got a problem. So that is totally true. Nurse or purse. They're literally waiting They're sowing their wild royal oats until they can't anymore, and then they're moving on. And until they get so old that maybe it won't be able to get up, and then next thing you know, you're nursing them. So, but some of the ladies are there waiting for them to pass so they can get the money too. So I guess it can be a win-win situation. So, all right, go ahead, Ms. Blue.
So I found myself personally, the dating pool is full of horse piss and cow shit.
No, my God.
Horse piss and cow shit. The younger ones are looking for somewhere to lay their head and bring their PS5.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
First of all, I don't bring nobody to my house around my girls. I got girls. That's a hell no. And then the older ones, like she was saying, they just want to try and go for sex. It's just like about sex. Like, you don't want to get to know me. Like, you just want to meet me. I say, with all these different diseases that are out here. I mean, some curable, some uncurable. You just want to meet me and have sex. You don't know nothing about me. You don't want to go let us do some STD testing, which I get myself, because I'm single, I get myself tested regularly, and I keep paperwork on day. You know, so if I get with somebody, I could show it to them, and we can go together and we can do it again, because I know I'm legit, but I don't know you legit. I know I'm good, but you don't know I'm good. So you just want to, even with a condom, you just want to jump in the bed and lay down with me. They got this stuff called mono you get from kissing and SARS.
The kissing, is that still out here?
It's still out. They got, they got
monkeypox for me.
all kinds of stuff. Yeah, monkeypox. It's just like, so you just want to meet me, and because I got a cute face and a big old booty, you want to kiss me and lay down with me.
Yeah,
and then it's like I had, yeah. And then it's like, for instance, one guy that I dated, he was cool. We were dating, going out on dates and everything. Came out that he had a girlfriend that he was living with. Him and his girl done got into it. Yes. Him and his girl done got into it. He called me and everything and telling me about it. I was like, so, so you just feel okay with telling me about all this, you know? I was like, well, so if you left her last night, where you went and got your hotel? You stayed at a hotel? No, I stayed at a friend house. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was a girlfriend house. Him and that girl house that he stayed at, they together now. And she be watching him like a hawk because she know he ain't shit. And then when he be out with her, if we're in the same place, he be trying to make Google eyes. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere trying to give me the eye, and you in here with your woman, I'm a little bitty something. You know that.
I ain't but like 5'1".
Yeah, I ain't but 5'1", and she be looking like she gonna beat somebody. I'm not finna fight. I'm not finna fight for you. I don't fight over no man.
She is not playing about her man. Oh my gosh.
The girl, if looks could kill, seriously.
She knows who you are. That's what that means.
She has figured out who I am.
Yeah, she knows who you are.
Yeah, but she ain't got no worries because he can't stay with me. So since you already
kind of dived into it, what are your favorite? Okay, what is the dating app that you like the most? Because we're trying to help people out, or you had the most success on. And what is your worst dating app story?
I have no success on no dating apps. I
Which
hate
ones
them.
Have you been on?
I've tried Zoom. Well, there's the original, the POF, but on there they just meeting the hunch. They just listen. If you swipe on there, what is it? Swipe left. If you swipe left, you finna go hunch somebody. So that was a killer. Then there was like a black singles one I went on. It was trash.
There's black. Yeah.
Then there was Zoosk, whatever it is.
You went on?
Yeah, it was trash. And then it was then Facebook is full of trash. I done had a man go in my inbox at 2:00 in the morning to my son, it ain't what you think it is. I just want to pray for you. Boy.
Maybe you look like you needed prayer at the time.
I do, but not from him at 2:00 in the morning. Where is your wife? Because you married. I don't want all on your profile. You talking about you want to pray for me? What you want to pray for me at 2:00 in the morning for?
I guess the dating pool is filled with married people.
Man,
all right, what about you, Pam? What dating app have you been on? Was it successful?
Hey, I think I was one of the beta testers for Facebook dating. And because one day I was out walking my cousin's dog, and all of a sudden these guys start popping in my phone. I was like, what is this? Anyway, It ended up being a lot of trash, as Boo said.
Mm-hmm.
I did make one acquaintance. I'd say we talked enough for me to, there was no love connection with us, but friendly enough. So I can say I got one friend off of there, and then he was entrepreneurial and seemed like a lot of the women he was talking to were entrepreneurial. So he was always trying to connect us, like, oh, you should talk to this person, or oh, you should talk to that person. I've been on Bumble.
Hey Jay, he wanted to take you to church. That's why he was praying. Jay, you need to come on here, man. We need a man's perspective. I'm being so serious right now. Are you willing to come on here? Let me know, please, please. I know you in hiding, but please come on here if you can. But thank you for watching. All right, billionaire.
I've been on every dating site that popped up on my phone.
Oh wow!
From Christian mingles to Black people's meets to, and I'm gonna put you guys up on some game now. It's a site called Tammy, Tami, or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's called Tammy. And a lot of the men's that it's a gay site because, I am bisexual. I love women as well. So it is for transsexuals, bisexuals, and stuff like that, not for strays. But I've seen a lot of straight men's on my Facebook and people that I used to date on there talking to trannies and things of that nature. So if you ever wanted to know your homeboy is gay or your ex is gay or your boyfriend is gay, just go on Tammy. Because I did expose 10 men that almost choked my neck because I know gay people when I see gay people, unless, whether you tried it or thinking about it, I can feel it heart to heart. And I couldn't believe how many exes I seen on here and interested in transsexuals and things of that nature. So, you just never know. And it was a lot of straight guys, like guys that look like gangsters or gentlemen with suit and ties, but they're not expecting the person that they're talking to be on the gay site. And I exposed so many of them, it's ridiculous.
Just a total side note. That's what happened with that whole thing. What is it? Hennessy Marie or whatever it was, the one down here. That was a big scandal down here in Florida. Not because she
did it maliciously, though. She was
I thought what she did was incredibly wrong. Yeah. People were kind of cheering it. I thought it was wrong.
It was definitely wrong. And those that cheered it were those who were like her. Because I actually did a lot of research into it. Mm-hmm. And she slept with a lot of people that had money, a lot of known people. Mm-hmm. And what she did was she was taking pictures and videos every time she's with these people. But my way of thinking, you have made yourself in the likeness of a woman. You've had top surgery.
She wasn't telling them.
And you've had bottom surgery. So they see and they feel you as a woman. So what are you exposing? The fact that they're cheating? Because you're not supposed to be feeling and thinking like a man. You're not but you're trying to say that, they're with a transsexual, but they don't know you're a transsexual.
Yeah, you didn't tell them, so they don't.
Like, girl, I could go on and on about that one. We ain't gonna do that because that's
it was super crazy.
Yeah, that was real crazy. Wow, that was a whole mess.
Now that I'm not answering my own questions, but
yes,
I'm gonna answer. Sorry, I'm so intrigued by y'all answers. Hinge was good. Hinge was good. There's actually, I'm trying to think of what the name of the app was, but there's an app for people in certain income ranges, and you literally have to kind of interview for the app. You put your picture up, you put how much you make, you put what you do, and they kind of vote you in based on attractiveness. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a rating. And then there's one called Stir, and that's for single parents. Facebook is trash. I made a couple friends though. Overall, I think the dating apps actually made me feel like I had too many options. Because it's like you're bored and you're just swiping and it's like you're not really building any relationships. It's literally like it's almost like, I hate Walmart, so I'm not gonna say it. So it's kind of like the Target. You're walking in there and you just see all types of wonderful things. You don't know what to choose. And you're overwhelmed with options. So I kind of ended up like Billionaire Fatty and just saying, I can't do this. I can't do it. And exited myself up out of there because it was distracting me, but it was going nowhere really, really fast. I met a lot. We're going to talk about this a little bit later, but I met a lot of polyamorous couples looking for people on there, meaning like there was a lot of them. So a lot of stuff goes down in the DMs because all types of people were on there. It was super crazy. So either way, let me go ahead and move on to the next subject.
If I ever showed y'all my DMs,
I'm scared of the DM. The DM, I'm not meeting anybody. I don't know if it's a scammer. I don't know because
no, I'm talking about with couples. If I
with
ever
couples coming
showed
to
you
your
my
DMs.
DMs, baby, listen, I
Wait,
can go
hold on
out
before you
places
start.
and they
Hold on
approach
before you
me.
start. Hold on. We was about to get to that anyway.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about sex. Before you get into the couples in your DMs, and you don't have to get too raunchy. What I was going to say is when you first got divorced, were you worried about start getting out there? Was it weird for you? Like, we kind of touched on diseases and all types of stuff like that. He's here. I'm so excited. Anyways, we have a man. Right? We all been looking for a man. We finally got one.
I can't cut the camera on because I'm actually in the sauna at the gym.
You're in a sauna at the gym?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all sweaty. Y'all don't want to see me.
Okay,
But my voice,
that's
my
all
voice,
right. It's okay.
voice will work.
Just need your input. But anyways, was it hard for? We'll have you go first. Was it hard for you? Well, technically, anyways, when you got out of your long-term relationship, was it hard for you to get out there and jump in those sheets again? And have you had any issues getting any divorcees in the sheets based on the stuff that they've been through? Jay.
So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When me and my kid's mom separated, I was on some whole shit. Wasn't really like committed to nothing because from my childhood, I made a promise to myself when I was 12 and I would never get in anything really committed or have a bunch of women around my kids because that's what I was around. So I made that commitment a long time ago, and therefore I wasn't really serious with anybody. And for a short period of time, I wasn't really talking to nobody. And now that my daughter's about to be 18 or whatever, now get to the point where maybe I could probably, find something serious to do. Marriage at this point ain't really nothing else to really seek out. So yeah, I didn't really do a whole lot of serious dating, and we broke up in 2014.
Mm-hmm. Is dating divorcees different? Like, are they a different breed of lady?
Well, I was never married, so.
No, dating divorcees. Have you dated any divorcees?
Yeah, a few here and there. Mm-hmm. So many people you got to turn down. It's like one lady I work with. I'm not gonna drop no names in them. She's married and like she was still trying to step out. I had to cut her off. I wouldn't know that. I've never like.
We don't bring some foolishness into the church.
I mean, no matter how much, for me as a man, no matter how much of a whole phase or stage you go to, there's just certain things I don't do. Like I had, even with my kids' mom, me and her were together. There were plenty of times I could have maybe brought somebody in my bed. I never did that. You ain't coming to my house, so I ain't with the foolishness like that because I don't like people in my business like that. So once I smell foolishness, I'm gone. And plus, I work in government, so once I start typing names in and looking for information, if I see any foolishness, I'm gone.
So you're doing background checks on these divorcees before you date them?
I do background check. I did a background check on you. We were just friends.
What?
Dude, I do background checks on everybody.
I hope you ain't seen nothing.
Everybody gets a background check. Everybody.
Well, let me ask one of the ladies real quick. Pam, I'm going to go ahead and speak on, was it hard for you to get back out there? You don't have to get super detailed, just.
Yeah, I think it took me a minute to get out there post divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And then first relationship out after divorce, he ended up dying. But we had broken up, but then there was a little period where the person that introduced us let me know that he had fallen ill. And so I was around, his last 6 weeks. So that was hard. So then there was another long period. So it can be a little rough, but it was something else I was going to say. Now I forgot, based on something Jay said.
Well, he said he was running into the ladies and he does background checks because.
Oh yeah, that was yes. I'm a background checker too now. My friends are like, "Ooh, girl, you need to start an investigative service." But it's not that difficult, The been verified. You can, and every state has the list where you can put a person's name in and see what kind of cases they might have on file. I check, and then you check to see if you got a phone number, if whose name is that number in. You can get a whole lot of information.
Yeah, I was married to a law enforcement person and he had no issue. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Okay. He had no issue looking into somebody's background. He couldn't care less. He would look and make sure whoever was coming to the house. And so I'm not doing a full background check unless I guess if I'm bringing them to the house, because I have children as well. We'll get to that too. But Blue, did you want to jump in and say how it was for you?
It was initially, because of the way things ended for me, it was really hard for me to get back out there. It was hard for me to find myself single again after being with somebody for 20 plus years. But after some time, I just kind of fell on into the groove of things. Things started happening. Sisters started getting out there and stuff. Started hanging with my girlfriends to loosen me up, and now, even though it's been a little bit now, it's still kind of difficult. Because it's like I want to have that person, that companion, that one, but I don't bring anybody to my house, period. So I don't do background checks and I won't do that. I do my due diligence now. I'm a whole FBI agent, baby. We gonna get to the nitty gritty because I'm gonna find out who know you, who you related to, and all of that, and what you got going on. Now, if I ever decide to bring you to my home, yeah, a full background check will be done because I have girls. I have a 16-year-old, and even though I have an adult, a 25-year-old, listen, they don't see nobody that I'm dating. Never have and never will unless it gets serious. Even the guy that I dated for a year and a half does not know where I stay. I never let him come to my house because he never proved to me that he was worthy.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. It's like
Let's
you got to have your own place.
real quick.
Yeah.
Billionaire?
Let's see. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
She was so caught up. Was it hard for you to get back out there and to, like, sexually after a divorce?
Yeah, because I was so used to the men that I've been with. And I was so comfortable with our sexuality. And I just felt like it just wouldn't be the same because a lot of people, say they can do this and do that and put on a show for this and that, and it just is, it's a waste of time. So I felt like, if you don't have the sexual flaws like I do in bed, because I don't like boredness, I don't like the same old routine, then it's just like it's no purpose. I'd rather just sexually do myself and call it a day rather than wasting my time, and it's not worth it. So it's definitely been hard.
All right, I heard that. We're gonna move on to the next subject. No romance without finance. How does money and income affect your dating? Do you care how much money they make? Do they care how much you make? Let me have Pam go first.
Pretty much, yes. There's no romance without finance at this age and stage of life. I'm like, when you're coming up, then you're getting established, then that's okay. I'm a little more open, and I was a lot more flexible. But again, in the age group I'm dealing with, they're looking for a nurse or a purse. I don't have the purse for you, and you need long-term health care. I'm not your nurse either. So you need to have your finances together. So mostly just because I'm not looking to take care of anybody. I'm flexible in terms of what you do or how you get yours, but you got to basically be able to take care of yourself. I don't need you to take care of me. So in that sense, you have to have, the finance together before the romance.
All right. Perfect. Blue?
I agree with Miss Pam. It's never been a requirement that you step in since I became single, even before I got married, that a man step in and take care of me and do everything for me, because I've always been a provider for myself. So anything that me and someone gets together, anytime we get together, that's a plus, because we're going to join forces, and hey, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So I'm not looking for somebody to just come in and sweep me off my feet and pay all, by paying all my bills. My bills was paid and my hair was done when you met me. You know what I'm saying? When you met me, I was dressed to the nines. I like to look jazzy. So when you met me, I was looking jazzy. I'm going to make sure all of that goes down. But you have to be able to fend for yourself. Because like I said, a lot of them out there are a little homeless. They be looking for somewhere to lay their head. So you have to have a steady stream of income. Maybe you don't make as much as I make, because I make a decent living. So maybe you won't make as much as I make, but be able to stand on your own 2 feet. Because I'm not here to be your caregiver. I'm not here to be your financial institution. My 401k is mine, baby. And if I don't make it, it's go to my daughters. And I mean, that's just how I see that. And like, I meet some men that are well established. The guy that I dated for a year and a half, he has a successful business, extremely successful. He was just a man whore.
Well, what I was told is if they are successful and they're single, and that they will be a man whore.
He was just a man whore. Like he went through a whole, a whole 3-year total marriage and breakup and everything, child. And he was just like, that was so traumatic for him. I was like, y'all didn't even know each other. Why was y'all married? Like, the whole relationship and the marriage was 3 years. I was like, it took me 5 years before I decided to marry my husband.
Yeah.
Like, what were you all did not know each other. You rushed into something. And so now you're at a point in your life where I think you need to get you some therapy. You really need to get you some therapy, because you're putting all of your issues and your trauma on everyone that you meet. And I'll help you, but I can't heal you.
Yeah. No, I met a man just like that. I think he was married for 2 months. So seriously, he was married the original time for a long time, but the second time he was married for like 3 to 4 months. And then he was telling me, like, everything kind of moved kind of fast, because he was like, you trying to figure out if I'm a serial killer, and I'm trying to figure out if you the one, because I don't know you, sir.
Exactly.
I don't know you. I'm trying
But
to
it's some people that are stuck on living that married life, that they're ready to jump into something extremely fast, and that's how you have those relationships that fail so quickly.
Yep. All right, let's have Jay chime in on the money. Are the ladies that saying they need some money before you get into a relationship? And I don't mean, selling it. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I'm all for that. There's like to Pam's point, I mean, to both the ladies' point, there's no 50-50. It's 100-100.
Exactly.
especially for Black people, we're at the bottom of the economic food chain. So we can't sit here and go into relationships and be serious and not have a solid economic foundation. I mean, for the society we live in, um, we talking about long-term relationships and marriages, money becomes an issue. And as much as I would love to live on an island where I can eat off the tree and drink my coconut water, unfortunately, we got ComEd and people's energy we got to pay. So
Yeah.
that the economic foundation has to be solid right in the door. And to Miss Blue's point, part of what we was talking about earlier this year, the reason why I'm not jumping into this, I have to heal. Like I have a lot of healing to do. And unfortunately, for some men, we look for the comfort, right? We jump into comfort, and because it feels comfortable for the moment, we'll jump into it whether the finance is right or not, and that's horrible. That's bad. So we got to start thinking a step ahead, and start being ahead of the game when it comes to that, because otherwise we'll be going in circles.
Exactly. Thank you for that. Billionaire Fatty, you want to jump in, say what's going on?
Yes. I've always took care of my men's, whether they were 50 or 30s or whoever. It wasn't a choice. It was just, where I come from is from the hood. So everybody's either living with somebody or, hustling or doing whatever. But I feel like, you know, let's build an empire together and get money together. If you don't know how, let me show you. Some people lifestyles they're not used to certain things you're used to. Their matureness are not as mature as you. They're so stuck in doing stuff the old ways that they don't even know how to go out and explore. So if I meet a man and you're living in poverty, I want to help. I'm only going to help you for so long until I put you out there on your feet. Go get you a job, or if you want a side business, I can help you get this. I can invest in you into getting this. Or I never want to meet somebody that already has money because they want to control you. They want to control things. I don't like that. I feel like, if I don't come from nothing, you don't come from something, let's build something up and make money together is how I feel. So I never wanted to meet people that already have money because they talk bad on you. I got this, I got that, I got more money. It's just always been a bad vibe to me, always.
I have a completely different point of view, but what you just said, it made sense to me what you said, but I have like a completely different point of view in the fact that I don't believe in building it, probably based on the experiences that I have. I believe in, like, with men when they're still finding themselves and building themselves, it's very tough on the woman. So it's the opposite. Like, I feel like they don't feel like they found their purpose, and they're not where they need to be. And unfortunately, men sometimes are with the women where they're at, right? So, like, I get what you're saying. If a man has, because men have told me this, some men, when they have more money, they feel like they can cheat and do whatever they want to do, and you have to agree to it because they're providing everything, right? But then there's the other extreme where you help build that person up, they get where they're going. I know he's controversial, but Kanye say leave your for what, right? But it doesn't have to be a person of non-color, but they get on and then they go to their dream girl after that. Because what I've experienced, when you help build somebody or help them grow up, what you start looking more in a mother figure, right? So, like you're saying, they're getting out there and you're helping them do side businesses, you're helping them do whatever, meet their dreams, and you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, so they don't owe it to be with you. But how do you feel when you've done all that and they don't end up with you? How do you feel? Like, does it affect
I just
you?
feel like it's a blessing passed along because I still got my money. I still got my hustles. I still got my businesses. And whether that man leaves and go to a woman that drains him out of his money, whatever, it doesn't matter what a man does. If a man still come in my presence, whether you're my friend or my man, I'm going to want to help you build. I'm going to want to help you succeed. Whether you leave me or decide to be with me, that's your loss or your gang, but I'm still going to do me regardless, because you have to come to me at the end of the day. I'm the one helping you. So I would never feel less as a woman. I'm just doing a blessing as a blessing.
All right. Jay, I just want to hear your input on that point of view.
On Miss Billionaire, what she said
Yes.
in terms of, I mean, there's nothing wrong with what I mean. That's different strokes for different folks. There's nothing wrong with that theory. I guess it just kind of depends on the situation and where who you meet and what they're about. Um, I've been in a situation with a friend where I wasn't making as much money at that particular time period, and she pretty much gave me carte blanche to come and go as I please to try to get back up on my feet. But I took care of the whole household, like security guard, babysitter, chef, barbecue man. So she got her money's worth. It kind of depends on where you at in the game, and if the person's really has some get up and go about themselves. Like if you laying around and ain't doing nothing, then no. So it just kind of really depends. But when I was talking about the 100 part, I was speaking from the standpoint where I'm at now. Like I don't have a whole lot of time to play around no more. If you're not hitting.
I think the sound might have went out. Well, hopefully he'll get his sound back because it went out. Well, while we're waiting on him to come back, we kind of touched on it already. Dating with kids. So when you meet that person, do you let? I've heard people say, don't even say you have kids, because there's some weirdos out there that are looking for people with kids, right? But does it affect, like, will you date a man with kids? What's the age range? What's your deal breaker when it comes to the kids or whatever? What do you feel about kids? I'm gonna go ahead and let Billionaire go first.
I love kids, number one. And I feel like, if I just don't feel right if people don't mention their kids, because I feel like, what are you hiding? That you should never hide your children. They're your flesh and blood. You should never hide your children. And one of the things that I've learned, because my parents always told me, get to know that guy before you bring him around your kids. And I did that before, but then my kids didn't like the person. And I feel like if my kids don't like you, then we can't be together, because I want my kids to feel comfortable of who I'm with, and who they're around. But that's why when I get a man, and if I'm serious about that man, I always let him meet my kids first, so my kids can judge, be around him, spend the day, so we all can get to know each other, whatever. And my kids just, if they feel right, then it's a go. We can continue dating because of my kids. I always go based off of my kids.
So if you fallen in love with a dude, you're all in, and they say, and they get around him and they say no, what then?
No, it's a no.
Oh, okay.
Because
I've heard people say, your kid's gonna grow up and move on or whatever, and you're the one who's gonna be with this person long term. So as long as they're not hurting the kids, maybe personalities clash. Oh, Jay's back.
Y'all kicked me out.
Saying what he was saying. Go ahead. We had moved on to kids, but go ahead and finish saying what you were saying.
I don't know where I left off at. So basically, I was just saying that you just meet somebody where they're at. If you meet them where they're at and everything is on the up and up, then I don't think there's anything wrong with, trying to help somebody. Because as Black people, we got to do that. We got to help each other. But like she said, it comes to a point where if it's going to be draining and you ain't up to nothing, then you got to move on. And I think that's where the vetting process really comes into play at, because you can have somebody you really like, and you're really vibing with them, but they may not be as economically sound or know how to move through society. Where I come from, I got family who they just don't know, right? And some folks need a little bit more pushing. So I get that. But for where I'm at now, I ain't playing around. We need to have it right, where we got a nice bag going into the game. That way we can ride smooth.
All right. Blue, let's jump back into the kids. You spoke on it a little bit, but go ahead and
With me, I haven't dated anyone that has had the pleasure of meeting my kids
mhm,
because I haven't been serious enough. I haven't felt like there was a need for anybody I've dated to meet my kids.
mhm,
But I feel the same um, in so many ways as Billionaire Fatty does. My daughters have to be comfortable around you if I'm going to be with you.
mhm,
You know, if they're not comfortable around you, then it's just like, like how are me and you, like that's going to be a tense situation. If
mhm,
they're not feeling you and you're around me all the time, and that can be a real tense situation, and that can be a messy situation.
mhm.
You know, and the thing is my kids come first and foremost. Like my girls that I ask for them, they ain't ask for me. I ask for them.
Mhm.
So I gotta be their provider and their protector. And if they not feeling somebody, then they just not feeling somebody.
Mhm. No, that makes sense. Let's
And
go
I
ahead
love,
now.
yeah, I love for people to let me know they have kids because I'll bet you're gonna know I have kids.
Yep.
And I am active, even with my 25-year-old, I am active in their lives. So
Mm-hmm. So they're a part of everything. Miss
yeah.
Pam, you want to go ahead and jump in before I ask this one question?
Oh
Sure.
Lord.
I don't personally have any kids,
Mm,
so it's not an issue for me in terms of bringing somebody into the relationship to meet my kids. But in terms of dating men that have kids, in the past, that has been a, a check mark in terms of whether I felt comfortable enough to be around their kids. And
mm-hmm,
I was just thinking about a couple of relationships where, we were kind of kicking it, you know, and then I was like, I know they had kids, but it was like, I'm really not feeling the whole family thing vibe with you. So the relationship didn't get to that point. But I
mm-hmm,
think on the flip side, and along with kids, it's the whole family dynamic because it doesn't always have to just be, are the kids okay? Are you okay with their kids? There's siblings, there's parents, there's all the whole family dynamic. And I think as I was listening to other people, one of the things that I pride myself on is that I get along with everybody's family and that I've been in relationship with. And in fact, when the relationship ends, I don't necessarily divorce the family members.
mm-hmm,
Um, we stay, we still a family. We still good. So I think that's important whenever you evaluate a person, right? It's not just their kids, but it's their whole family dynamic. Because number one, that's going to tell you a lot about how they are, how they were raised, how they get along with people, how they handle conflict. And if you don't get along with their family members, you
mm.
you know that's a beyond, what's beyond red flag.
Yeah, magenta. I don't know, purple.
That's a
Oh my goodness. Well, I heard. Well, I was told that women with kids are lower value in the dating market, and they have a hard time finding anybody to be with because they have children. Has that been your experience? Before you answer, also, um, with kids or whatever, are you expecting if your significant other, if you guys get into a serious relationship, are you expecting them to help you take care of your kids? So two-part question. So, and that's because they said that's kind of the reason why they're considered lower on the totem pole. I'm gonna have Jay go first because we want to hear guys' perspective, and then I'll have you ladies jump in. Try to remember the question.
All right. So this is the kid. This is my kid. This is my kid's quote. My kid's statement.
Yes.
So my situation is a little bit unique. I'm the oldest of 7 kids. So I have 7 siblings. Um, so like I'm going back to that because it shaped who I am now in terms of who I have around my kids. So my mom and dad were never together. My dad had dated a little bit. I was around some of his girlfriends, but my dad was a a mental health clinician, so he vetted people like crazy. But he had me around some of his girlfriends, and that was cool. Like his wife, I was never really into her, but that was his wife. Um, I later found out that a lot of genetically some things were kind of passed to me. What I mean by that is my dad was raped by a woman, and yeah, that was like his first sexual experience, and that's one of the reasons why I think he got into mental health and he started managing nursing homes and stuff like that. It's a social work. But the crazy part is he did all of that and he never got any therapy for his son, which is interesting. So a lot of those things were kind of like the energy was passed on and it went unchecked. My mom got hot. She was on drugs for almost 30 some years or more. And I was around a lot of her boyfriends, a lot of people I shouldn't have been around. I grew up in a project. I was around a lot of unsavory people. A lot of her, drug using friends. And, in that environment, with those drugs, people out of their mind, I was touched by a woman. And like, as a kid, you don't know it. It's celebrated. Oh, your son's so cute. And you start feeling on, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, stuff like that. So that's what I experienced from women. And so, like I was telling y'all earlier, I made a promise to myself when I was 11 that, if I'm not seriously into somebody, you're not going to be around my kids. It's not going to happen. The interesting part is most of my friends are female. So my female friends that I don't talk to, I'm around their kids, they're around mine. So like that. That's why I kind of draw the line. I got like 15 female friends where I'm comfortable. They're comfortable having me around their kids because we all kick it and, we go out and stuff like that, or we have all the kids at one house. But my kids have never been around nobody I'm dating at all. I haven't dated much since they're one's 18, one is 16. The last person I seriously dated was their mom. So the only people they've been around since then are my female friends. I made a promise that I wasn't going to have them around people like that if that was dating. We're not serious.
Okay. But does the number of kids that a woman that you meet, the number of kids affect whether or not you're going to pursue her?
I think the number doesn't matter. I think what matters is the age they're at and the stage of her life. I got a gang of kids in my family, so I can't be too biased towards that. Like, just between two of my first cousins on my mom's side, just between them two, that's about 17 kids.
Wow.
She got 10 kids by herself, so 9 or something like that. So I'm not too biased towards that, but I'm not going to be chasing around a whole bunch of babies. That's not gonna happen. So, I like older women, so I don't think it's gonna be too much of a problem for me because you know how I move. Like,
I do. Yeah, so yeah, I do. I know. Yeah. All right, let's have Blue chime in with the kid question.
What was the exact question? What was the exact question again? So I can make sure I say this right.
Okay. 1, do you think the amount of kids a woman has affects her dating worth? And the other one is, does the amount of kids, whoever you're trying to date, affect whether or not you pursue them?
No and no. I haven't had an issue with it at all.
All right.
I love kids. I love kids. I ain't finna raise no little kid. I'm 49. I ain't finna do it. I ain't finna raise no new ones. I like them in spurts. I'm older. My patience is short. But I'm straight up. I love kids. The guy that I dated for the year and a half, he had 7 kids, but they're all older. He had.
If I ain't know no better, I think never mind. I'm gonna do it. We'll talk later.
He had 7 kids, and 2 of them are young, but the rest are adults. I mean, he's even a grandpa by one of them. They done made him a granddad by one, but no, it's not a problem for me.
Okay.
It's not a problem for me because say if I get serious with him, say he and I get serious, I got to accept his kids and he got to accept mine.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be able to, our kids have to be able to be comfortable around each of us. And I've never had an issue with kids being comfortable around me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've never had an issue with that. So, you know, and he, as far as I know, he hasn't. I don't guess, child. I don't know.
I can't remember if you answered, Miss Pam. I think you did. Did you answer?
Did I answer?
Okay, go ahead. Go for it.
Oh, Miss Pam. Okay.
No, well, with me not having kids, I'm just
yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah.
I was thinking about it though from the point of view of I have close friends who, if anything, they are outliers of that philosophy. Like they had small kids or kids and they remarried fairly easily, you know, and vice versa. So I'm like, it's really a individual thing. And I think it's there's something to be said about especially as it relates to marriage, right? If I think, and this is, and you can correct me, Jay, if you disagree. If a man is marriage minded, having children already can sometimes be, you know, not more attractive, but it eases the relationship because they know that you're like not going to be hopping all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think it's relationship specific.
That's what I stated. I was like, I've never had a problem. So this person was just adamant that, you know, any guy would just be not into that at all. And I'm like, I don't think you know what you're talking about. Because I said even some, it sounds crazy, but I love crime shows. But even in some of the crime shows, majority of those more wealthy men are marrying women that have children already. Like most of the time, she might take him out, but still, he still married her. He was still willing to go with her or whatever. So let's go ahead and breeze through because I don't want to hold up in too much more of your time. But to commit or not to commit, have you guys been running more into people who want to be in actual relationships, or have you been running into situationships in your divorcee dating adventures?
You want the truth?
Yes, the truth always.
They just want situationships, and I'm not situationship material.
Okay.
I'm not situationship material. I'm relationship material. You got to remember, I was with one man and dedicated to one man for 20 some odd years, almost half my life. I'm 49. So I'm not situationship material. I'm not meant to be on the sideline. I am wifey material. I have always been wifey material. Ain't nobody gonna never make me think anything different.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think I've been doing some work on me, and I came to realize that while I am wife material, always have been, and that used to be a struggle when I was in my 20s and early 30s, and I was not looking for marriage. But then in the work I've done over the last decade or so since I've been divorced, I've come to realize that I attract what I think I am or who I am without, you know, in my unconscious. So I wasn't ready to be committed. So situationships were attracted to me. Right. So now I'm in a more commitment state of mind. I'm hoping that relationships are what I will attract. But
I'm in a commitment state of mind, and all they want to do is have a damn situationship.
Maybe subconsciously you're not really in the commitment state. Maybe subconsciously you might be afraid to.
I might have to go talk to somebody about that because we got to fix that.
Well, you know, and Blue, I'm serious because, like, look, my ex-husband. Not to talk about exes too much, but you know, I married a con artist, and then I did some work on me and was having a conversation, and the person said to me, "Well, that was obvious because you were a con," and I was like, you know, I was like, what are you talking about? But then after I was able to unpack it and step back and not take it so personal, I was like, you know, I really was not operating in my true self.
Okay,
right.
I get you.
So I had presented a false, person. I was a fraud. So of course a fraud was attracted to me.
Okay. I got
So
you.
it's things like that it's just like, okay,
I got you.
I'm starting to understand and unpack. And the same with these, relationships and whatnot. So we'll see. Because
we'll see what happens. We'll see
it's
what
rough out
comes
here.
in.
I haven't had no relationships running at me yet. So
no, the irony of the situation is, just a side note, because I do reactions to reality shows on my channel. That's what surprised me was that beautiful lady, Brandy on Ready to Love, who was 35 years old and said she had never been in a relationship and never been in love.
Wow.
And so she said she wanted to fall in love with that guy, Mike. So apparently it's more common than we think. Me personally, I'm running into situations. Well, let me not lie. I ran into people that want to be in relationships. I've also run into people that wanted to be in situationships. I may not be 100% ready to be in a full relationship myself, so that may be why I'm running into it. I have to do some healing, get healthy, get past some of the things that happened in my situation. I definitely know how to be in a committed relationship because I was married for a really long time, like 15, 16 years, something like that. But I was with the person like 21 years or something like that. So I know how to be in a long-term committed relationship. And like Miss Billionaire was saying, I know how to take care of a man. But while I was in that state, I lost myself. And like you were saying, Pam, I don't think I was showing up as my authentic self. I was kind of like a people pleaser, taking care of everybody but me. And so once I got out of my situation, it was like, who am I and what actually makes me happy? What brings me pleasure? Who is V? Like what? And you guys are helping me in one of my dreams, this channel. But I've been doing those type of things. Like I'm writing books. I'm taking dance classes. I'm doing all
You're
types
doing
of stuff.
You're fulfilling you
to figure out what I like. So whoever ends up with me after this is gonna get like, I'm gonna be able to express exactly what I want, exactly on what makes me happy, what I like to do. And everybody laughs at me because I'm one of those people. You call me and say, "Hey, let's go to Zimbabwe." I'm like, "Okay, when we going?" Like,
Girl, you're a Virgo.
I've never been.
You're a Virgo. That's what we do.
Exactly, Virgo. So I'm like, let's go. Like, do you have a ticket? Where are we going? We got gas in the car. And they make fun of me for that, but I'm like totally all in with gaining new experiences, and I just want to have fun and be happy because I've been in some crazy situations where I'm like, how did I end up here? And I'm not even myself. I do not recognize myself. So, but Jay, situationships or commitments? What's going on?
I've had some women that were ready to commit. It never happened for a bunch of reasons, mostly because I wasn't ready on the right state of mind, or I may have saw something goofy and I ran. But I've probably been in a little bit more of the situationships than I would want to. But mostly I haven't been ready. So like I was telling you earlier this year, like at the point I'm at now, like it's just doing a whole mental detox, getting my mind and my body right. I think for me, and just I think sometimes for humans in general, we have to we America still values marriage, but we take it the wrong way. And so I think for my personal journey, for me, I have to not let my mind trick me, not let my heart lead me down the wrong path, but really be in tune with my soul and let the universe send that to me, because the universe talks to the soul, not to the heart and mind. So we have to be connected to that. And for us as men, Black men especially, therapy and detoxing the mind will help open that pathway up.
All right.
That's another whole show for you right there, baby.
Energy is mine in the universe.
No, therapy. Us in therapy, because a lot of us don't believe in therapy. I put myself in therapy after going through everything.
Yes. I did.
A lot of us don't believe in it. We feel like because a person gets therapy, they're crazy. No, you're not.
But somebody tried to convince me that I was, and I know that I wasn't. I was going through something and I was so embarrassed to even go to therapy. Nobody knew I was going. And when I finally went, it was
a relief.
freedom, like to
It was a
have a
relief.
conversation,
Like
to
I
have
stopped
somebody validate.
recently, but if I have to go back, I will pick that right
Yep, a
back
tune
up
up.
and go
You
right
got
back
to do a
to
tune up.
Right. It's all about mental and emotional wellness,
Yes.
right?
I mean, before you can actually be in a committed relationship with anyone, you have to make sure that you're a whole person.
Yes.
And I
Absolutely.
know, even though I know I'm relationship material, and piggybacking back off to what you said, I may not be completely 100% ready because I know I'm not 100% whole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still healing myself, and I know I'm still healing myself. But that's what I long for.
Mm-hmm.
I long for a committed relationship.
With that being said, great segue. When do you how are you guys willing to be married
Ooh.
again? And what would it take? What would that special person have to do? Yeah, I'm getting in your brains a little bit. Or if need be, will you marry yourself? And then I'm gonna throw another one out there. Uh Polyamory is a thing. And since we're saying there's not enough guys out here, are you willing to get into that? So I'm gonna go ahead and have you, Pam, go first. Are you willing to get married again? What would it take? Or you want to be by yourself? Are you willing to be in a multiple person marriage in order to get what you want?
Wow. Let's see. Let's get married. That's the goal now. As we get older, I'm like, I'm not trying to be by myself in the last, years of my life. I'm not looking for a nurse, and I'm not looking to nurse somebody. At this stage, I'm looking for somebody who is well enough, on all of the measures, right?
Mhm.
So that's what it would take. I need you to be physically healthy, emotionally healthy, financially healthy, spiritually healthy, all of those. You need to have some health. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't have some issues, like seems like everybody's diabetic or has high blood pressure or whatever, right? So I'm not saying that you can't have some issues, and everything doesn't have to be just so. But in terms of the polyamory, that's not anything I'm interested in. I'm not looking for that. But I also have thought about it in terms of long term. Like if I do it again, I hope that I'm doing it, and I hope to be done. So I've heard some conversations. As long as we are able to have a conversation and there's a clear understanding, it might work out a little in my favor, because again, as men age, it's like this stuff stops working. So does polyamory mean that I can have somebody that is
There's a difference. So I think women being, because I remember when I did that show last time, Boo, I forgot what the name is, but there is such a thing as having a woman having two husbands. There is such a thing.
There is.
It
And it's
doesn't
actually a big
exist.
thing.
Yes. And you know what? Not playing, I might be down for that. And I told you that last time, Boo, I might be down for that.
I could possibly consider that. I'm not looking for that, because it's
I'm not looking for that, but
to deal with one person and one person only. So, like I said, I'm not looking for that, but I'm not going to never say never about anything. If I'm already in a relationship, I'm not looking to get into anybody else's thing. I'm not looking to join. But let's say I remarry, and in the course of our long-term relationship, that gets brought up, and maybe I'll entertain it. Maybe, I'm not going to say never, but I'm not looking for that.
Shout out to Miss April. Hey, how you doing? All right, Blue, you want to answer?
I've been approached about that. And I've thought about it, being in a whole poly relationship, and I've considered it. I won't say that I'm completely against it. My thing with that, there's a lot of dynamics and logistics that have to be worked out, and everyone has to be completely on the same page with that whole spiel. So it's not completely out of the question for me, because a lot of times you be in a poly relationship and you don't even know it. So
Nobody told me. So.
they didn't even tell me. I was in one and ain't even, she know about me, but I don't know about her. A lot of times you be in it and you don't even know it. Or he know about, you know what I'm saying, him and or whatever, however it goes. A lot of times, you just don't even know it. Because me, I value honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love honesty. I don't care what it is. Give me the option to choose.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to for me. Would I be married again if I'm healed and whole? I
Mm-hmm.
probably would definitely do it again because I'm long-term relationship material. Whether it's me and one person or me and two other people, I'm long-term, relationship material. That's what I thrive off of. I like having that familiar. I don't. I like getting to know specific people. I don't like having to have to. I don't want to go the rest of my life and it's like I'm dating and I'm 80 years old and I pay, I'm on, I'm sick or whatever, I'm passing on, and I don't have that one specific person that I love and they love me, or those
Mm-hmm.
two, whatever it ends up being, that I'm dealing with. Like, I like having that in my life.
Jay, you want to jump in? Two wives for you?
So yeah,
Co-husbands.
I'm definitely I never been married, so I'm definitely intrigued by it, and I want to take that step. I just don't know when it'll happen. Um, I ain't like I said, like you said, I'm not trying to wait till I'm 80 or 90 or 70 or whatever. But at the same time, not trying to like do it in 6 months either. It's gonna take some time.
Exactly.
Um, so yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I want to get to that point and do it. Um, the whole poly thing, like the day and age we live in, like once I get to that point, you never know what you're gonna be presented with. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those rare young black men that's not into threesomes. Don't care for them. So with that said, you can keep that poly stuff somewhere else.
All right. He said what he
Mhm.
said. No, for me, I would like one person for me to grow old with, to do everything with, to be with. Like I said, my love language is quality time and physical touch. So I want a person to, like I said, if I want to jump in a car and go to Zimbabwe, I want that person riding with snacks and ready to play their Bluetooth. That's what I want. I want to go to restaurant. I want to do all this stuff, and I want a person that I can trust,
That
that they are
knows you.
for me and knows me.
Exactly.
That is what I am, and knows the real authentic me. I want to put that in because I really like that Pam said that. The real authentic me. And it's like, this girl, I just said I wasn't crazy, but this girl's crazy, but I love it. I love every minute of it. And I want to enjoy
Like
the
somebody you
crazy
could just
ride.
twerk around the house with, and
Yes.
y'all gonna laugh together.
Yeah. If we want to have a twerk contest, whatever, we're
We
doing
doing it
it.
together.
All right, that was a great way to finish the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and go around and have everybody say their final words, and then let me know where we can find you, and then we'll be on our merry way. I'm gonna have you go first, Blue.
Okay, I am Blue Tamika. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. But my final words is I still believe in love, even though my marriage ended the way that it did. And the thing is I believe that he loved me wholeheartedly. He just got caught up doing what he did. He got caught up and he made an awful mistake, one that I cannot 100% forgive and respect him as my husband, as my provider and my protector. But I still believe in love, and I know maybe there is a love out there for me. I'm a complete optimist in regards to love, and just making sure that you're a whole person, making sure I'm a whole person, before I say, okay, this is really that man. Because I kind of jumped out there a little quick when we first, when I first parted ways, but I want to have that man. Yeah, I'll consider that polished, but I want to have that man. You know what I'm saying? I really do, because that's all I've known is having that one, me and that one that I know I can come home. If I want to talk about somebody at work, I could talk about him to him because he ain't gonna tell nobody.
Yeah.
We can sit down and we can gossip together, and it's just between me and him. Like you say, we could twerk in the house. We can take that trip to Zimbabwe together. We going to Wakanda. We
Yep.
all we going to Wakanda, and he is on my wavelength because we gonna all go to Wakanda together. So yes, I believe in love, and I know God gonna send love my way.
Thank you, Pam.
I guess I'm piggybacking on Miss Blue. Uh, love and respect, right, are the key to this long-lasting relationship. That I gotta love myself first, and I gotta respect myself, right? So as long as I'm keeping those things first and foremost in my purview, then I'm hopefully attracting somebody that I can love and respect, and it's mutual. You guys can find me. I'm the Teen Transformer on Instagram and TikTok. And you can also find me on Facebook as Coach Pam with 2M.
All right, Jay.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm going to heal this soul, and then from there, we're going to try to find a woman that has that connection to my soul, to her soul, and vice versa. Um, I think love goes in. I think for me, I want to be able to fall in love, but not right away, because I think love is like finance, kind of build it up over time, and it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger as you go along. So that's where I'm at with that. But you can find me. I'm at on IG as Windy City History, and you can follow all my Windy City brands through Linktree. I'm on Windy City TV on YouTube.
All right, thank you. And I'm V, the Sepia Scholar, and I just wanted to say, make sure you get out there and you find genuine, soul-shaking, deep love, but still get the provision and professing and everything that you need. And for the man, get the lady that respects you, wants to see you grow, is a helpmate, and hopefully you'll get beauty all in one, right? Because you guys are visual creatures. I believe in love as well, and I can't wait until the day I am strong enough and healed enough to become somebody's wife again. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. It's been an amazing chat, and I want to thank all the people on the panel and everybody who joined in the chat and left comments for helping my dream come true of having my own channel and having grown-up conversations, because that's what we're here for. And with that being said, love who loves you. May God bless you with everything that you need. And the Sepia Scholar and friends are out.